So earlier I was talking about cherry picking from stores and how a lot of my stores here don't really put books like on the shelves. Like they don't like just stick them randomly on the shelves. Like sometimes they do, but most of the time they stick them kind of like in very specific spots, like end caps. And over here at the top here was just all of these like those books I just showed you. So now you can see it's empty, and so they'll probably fill that up with some more. But for the most part, it's just a lot of like scanning through the same books that have been on the shelf for years, and every now and again there's something put in. But really you're just looking for blanks and then seeing if anything got put in there. If you source often enough, you'll start recognizing the blanks. But a lot of books to go through. I mean, there are just rows upon rows of books. Yeah, that was a good find. All right, just finished up with that witchy show I was prepping for you guys in last video. I showed you all. This is everything that sold here, right here, as well as some of these books up here sold. We ran some individual auctions for books that weren't listed. This is everything that was left over. I pulled these out last minute. They're like old dated guidebook type things, but this was the only item that we had listed that didn't sell. So that's pretty cool. So that was all that was left over. Sold all of that. Here are the statistics, or the statistics. Here's the, what am I trying to say? This is how much sold. So I think we did like 400 something, and it looks like it was only 16 shipments, 8 new buyers, which I love to see. I do still have some left over. Obviously, I didn't list all of it, so I have some left over, and I rescheduled another show for people to bookmark at the end of April. So I'll be doing that kind of show again. But if you guys ever come across these kind of like Wicca, pagan, witchy, spiritualistic, herbal type books, they sell very, very well. I didn't really show you guys everything I got, but I got 2 bags from the Goodwill, 2 pretty full bags. I don't think it was anything in there ridiculous crazy, except for one book, which I'm definitely going to show you when we get back to the office. I did not expect for this one book to be worth so much money, but we are going to hit up this DAV. I do not come to this one, but about once a month. But I tend to have a good little selection when I do come that one time. So let's go in and check it out. They have a decent selection. Like they have a lot. Like there's a ton over here and there's a ton over here. But it's very random where they kind of put new things in. And then you have to look at damage on a lot of these too. It's one thing I've noticed consistently here is damage. I'm gonna look that one up, but we shall see. I always like to start over here because they, for some reason, they tend to put some of the better books over here. Like sometimes they'll put like some smut over here. That's good, but it's $3. Oh, we got a little hopeless. I'll take that. $2. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get this one. I'm pretty sure that's a good book. Next diary. That looks kind of good. I think I'm gonna get that. That looks kind of good. Sometimes I just don't have to look something up. I can just tell, and that's just from having done it for so long. If you're just getting started, you're gonna get good at that too. You'll eventually, like how I just went directly for those 2 books. I just could tell by the spines. And I miss stuff. I'm not perfect. By far, I miss stuff probably all the time that are worth good money. But in the way that I source, it's efficient and it's overall pretty advantageous for me. So, I mean, we've got 5 books already. It's pretty solid. All right, I'm going to take a little peek over here. I'll let you guys know what else I find. So this ended up being everything that I'm grabbing. A little selection, lots of thriller, little romance in there as well. So of all the books that I picked up today, one of the tiniest little books that I picked up is this tic-tac-toe book, and it is insane what the comps are looking like on this. I'll throw up over here on the side the 2 that are listed. So these are the only 2 listed comps. I got that from the barcode, but I also typed in the title, and those were still the only 2 that popped up. And then these were the only 2 sold comps in the last 90 days. But I did actually go to the, what's it called, the research page for like looking at the last 3 years. And I went ahead and put this in, and over the last 3 years, I think I stopped counting at like 30. Over 30 of these had sold in the last 3 years. And so the average sales price was actually only like $53, but when you sorted highest to lowest, they were averaging in the hundreds on the high end. So I will list this just below what the lowest person is, maybe like $10 or $15 lower, and see if I can get a quick sale. It does also have just a little bit of water wear and wear on there, but this is basically a tic-tac-toe book where you can like play through the book, and it'll beat you. I don't know. I really don't know, but this little tiny guy, a little $100 book at least. Here is this week's Saturday show all set up. You can see it is definitely a lot less than what you guys probably saw last time, but this is what I have to work with. I do have other books, but I like to set out a variety. So I have a lot of other like chapter books, but they're all really thriller based. And I have a lot of thrillers on the shelf already, so I'll hold off on those. I have other picture books, but there are a lot of what I kind of already have in here or some iteration. So I like to just kind of keep things not sparse, but just even. And so if I have excess of something, I'll just stick it to the side and save it for another show. So this is what we're working with tonight. See how it goes. This is everything that was left over from everything I showed you. So that was what was left over. And then here's our bundles and then some auctions down here as well. For being such a small selection of inventory, pretty happy. This is what we did. I don't know. I think it was like 4 something. I actually think I barely saw the total. But here it is. This is what we did on that show. So a little bit of a smaller show, but packing should be pretty easy. And yeah, very happy with how little is left over. They did a great job grabbing a ton of stuff. And of course, people can shop the shelves as well, which people did, but always love to see that small stack left over. So I didn't film myself inside the stores, but this is what I got from the Goodwill local to me. I also got that Waldo book and these 2 bags, and that is from the Virginia Beach Goodwill, which does still have books. Interesting. This is wild. So this all used to be books. All of these bookshelves were books. And then slowly over time, they started putting all these pictures out, which was fine. But then they ended up doing all this overstock stuff. And now all that's gone. So I don't know if their source dried up or if it just wasn't moving for them. But now they've put like DVDs back out. The last time I was in here, the books were on, I think, these 3 shelves, maybe some trickling over here. And now we're like 5 more shelves down. So before you know it, they might actually be putting books out again. So yeah, I'm gonna browse. I'll let you guys know what I find, but it doesn't look like there's really anything much on the shelves, but sometimes there's some gems in here. I actually have some really cute, like middle grade reading books, some good little series, actually a really good selection. So for like people that are looking to like read books, this is actually got a really good collection here. But for someone like me where it's 99 cents, like each book's 99 cents, I have to be careful. So like these are both kids books, but I think they're kind of worth it. But you've got to just be careful because you can't really pay up for kids books. And then this stuff over here, like these shelves, I'm pretty much not going to look at all because none of these are going to be worth 99 cents. These ended up being books 1 and 2 of the series. These are the only 2 books in the series, so I'm grabbing those. And then this is like a dystopia type thing. Looks really good, so I'm grabbing those. So that's it. $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So not too shabby. But yeah, this is also the Salvation Army. If I didn't mention that, I don't think I showed myself walking in. All right, you guys know the drill. Let's see. I will say it's really empty up there, so maybe they did do some level of tidying up. Water damaged. This is my problem. This is water damage. I can feel it as soon as I picked it up. But they want $3. Just can't. Yeah, he came in and organized because these are all sci-fi, so might be some decent stuff down there. Let's see. Some of these just have too much wear on them. I've been liking these little collections, but this one is $2. Again, water damage. I don't know if you guys can see. You can feel it as soon as you touch it. Ooh. PC cast. It's someone to be on the lookout for. There's no price tag on it, but she'll probably do $1.98. Alright, I'm gonna finish looking. I'll let you guys know if I find anything else. Pretty happy. Found a couple little Abby Jimenez and James Bond. It's pretty cool. And one of my favorite places. This is my local library from when I was a kid. It's huge, absolutely massive, but they have the cutest little Friends of the Bookstore. They have some good stuff typically, but you have to come like once every few weeks. Like if you come every week, you're going to be grabbing like 1 or 2 books at a time. So it's another one of those that I come like maybe once or twice a month. So it doesn't look like they have anything crazy on sale. Let's see what they have on the inside here. Somehow both full and empty.
If you need me, I'm going to be right in the back.
Thank you.
Just yet.
This book's been here for like ever, and I keep wanting to pick it up because it looks good, but now I can't. I'm not allowing myself to.
You're welcome. Stay warm. I hear we're getting snow this weekend.
I hope it's 2,000. I don't want to get to church and then try to figure out how to.
So a lot of these young adult books I have to look up because there's so many of them. I mean, I only really try to pick up things that I know or that there's like a full series of. So I'll take some time to like look some of these up, but I'll probably grab a good bit of young adult. Hi everybody, it is Tuesday. I think we did some sourcing this morning, but we're back at the office now and I've got all of Saturday's orders lined up for me to start packing. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and get eBay out of the way, which is a small amount of sales. We only did 7 sales in the last, couple days, $125. And this is the direct result of just not listing like regularly. I have not had time to prioritize eBay at the moment. I had just some other things going on, and eBay definitely fell by the wayside, but this is always that reminder of why when you put into something, it works. When you don't, it slows up. And so this is just the reaping of the seeds that we sowed, right? So first up, we've got a couple of textbooks, Dimensions Math and New History of Social Welfare. Again, working our way through these books down here. I think they're kind of on the bottom, so give me a second to grab those. Dimensions Math, Home Instructor Guide 4B. This sold for $14 plus shipping. And then this one's kind of beat up, A New History of Social Welfare. This one was $19.99 plus shipping. Let's see. Next up, we have another Haynes manual. I love these. They're super easy. They don't like bring in a ton of money per se, but they're just easy. Where is this one? Small engine repair manual. So this is small engine repair manual, and that one sold for $4.89. Woo, big money. We've got a Franklin Library, Canterbury Tales. Working through those Franklin libraries. It's this one down here. Let me grab it. So really nice condition on that one. Another plus shipping, $15. We have one with free shipping. This was from that Facebook pickup, if you guys remember me talking about that. And I think I have them over here. It's this one. Kumi Himo braiding loom. This one was $12.89 free shipping. So we're looking at what? $7-ish plus shipping. Gibson Girl. This one I know came from the Thinkers boxes. Making our way on that one. This was one I actually considered not listing. There was enough solds to give me to list it, but the sell-through was just so light. But I had a really good copy. That one sold for $11.99 plus shipping. And then last up, another super high dollar sale, $4.79 on this Hot Dots workbook. It doesn't have the pen or anything. It's just the workbook. These sell decent in lots as individuals. I probably won't be listing those again. But anyway, those are the 7 items that sold for, again, $125. Not a lot, but for a few books, I'll take it.
Hey everyone, good morning. I am here in my car. I just pulled up to my office. I'm actually about to head inside of my office. I decided to not go sourcing today. And one of the reasons for that is that I have all of those banker boxes and basically free inventory over there. And a lot of those boxes have the books that I need in order to list on eBay. So if I don't go through those, then I don't always have the most stuff to sit down and list. And I do like to list when I have a few items at a time. So with that said, what I'm going to do is go in today and just start working my way through some of those boxes. I have about 2 hours until I have to be somewhere. And then after that, I've got to head home and edit this video. So I think I'm going to just see what I can get done. And in the next 2 hours, I think I can probably get through, I'm going to say 5 to 7 or 8 boxes would be great. Like if I could get 5 boxes done, I'd be really happy. Right now, I'm lucky if I'm getting through like a box every month and a half. So some boxes have nothing really valuable in there for me for eBay and they can go on Whatnot. And some boxes have a ton of valuable eBay stuff and it's just me looking up every single book one at a time. So let's go ahead and head on in. I'll kind of show you what we're working with in there just for those of you that have never seen it or you haven't seen it in a while. Just kind of show you what it's even looking like in that room. Since we've done the plus show and cleared a lot of stuff out, it does look a lot better in there. But yeah, let's go ahead and head on in.
Got all of our packages from Saturday out. Okay. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of a selection of books down here too. So we don't need to go sourcing when we have a good little variety. So I have enough to really get me through the next show for Saturday, which I mean, I'm still going to source and I have stuff in the car that I sourced yesterday. So, all right, let's head on over here, show you guys what it's looking like. Kind of just take y'all along with me a little bit today. All right. So as you can see, I feel like it looks a lot better than what it looked like. All of the stuff that ends up on the table is typically stuff that I've recently sourced. So you see like the walking sticks. I haven't listed those yet. Just the different items. This is my kind of one of my, I wouldn't say it's a flaw in my sourcing system. It's just the way that I've always done it. I've always done it this way, is that I'll create like a big pile of stuff. And then once I'm ready to like list it, I'll list it. This over here is all of the books that I got from like a little storage unit buyout I did with a friend. It was a ton of books. I think I paid $100 for all of them. I can't remember. I think it was $100. But yeah, that's going to be a whole separate thing. What we're working on right now is these white bankers boxes. So there is also that other pickup. Oh gosh, I know it makes sense to me. I hope it's not overwhelming for you guys, but it makes sense to me. I've got this box here, and then I believe it is just these 2 boxes down here. And this is books from the buyout from William and Mary, if you guys remember that. I'll try to put in some footage here if I have it. So that is there's 3 buyouts we're working with. All right. So we've got the storage unit, the banker's boxes, which is a huge free book donation that I got, and then the free book donation of the William and Mary. Okay. There's also a Facebook one, but we've already processed all the books in that order. So there's not, you hear me say that's from the Facebook pickup, that one we've already processed. All right. So let's go ahead and grab one of these boxes, open it up, and I'll kind of take you guys through it. We'll see what's inside. So like I said, there's method to the madness. And as I was just kind of sorting through this, I had some realizations of where these boxes in the front kind of came from, because I know that from the free pickup, they were all in these white banker boxes. So I mentioned the William and Mary pickup, which is definitely this box right here for sure, but it's also these 2 boxes. And then, like I said, these 2. So these 2 boxes, and that box were all William and Mary. I'm going to go ahead and make an audible because I got reached out to them again, and she said, hey, I have more of those boxes. She said she has like 6 more boxes. So I don't know if they're those, these, what. She was like, do you want them? And I was like, I do, but I'm busy for the rest of the week. Can I come get them next week? She was like, yeah, for sure. They're just sitting here. So I'm like, cool. So I think I should go through the William and Mary stuff to see. It's a lot of leadership and war, and just to see if it's worth it for me to go do that second pickup. Because if I go through all of this and it's not anything worth it, then it wouldn't be worth it for me to go pick up 6 more boxes, and I can have them, tell them where they can donate them instead. So I'm going to go ahead and start working my way through that. And then that also checks off the list, the William and Mary vibes. And I actually think I could probably get through that in the next 2 hours. That's my goal. So we're going to go through these 2, those 2, and that clear one. And then this, I will say, I did say there was, the Facebook was done. This is also Facebook, maybe even the box below it. And those are, I think, eBay items. So I can maybe do that next. And then, is this Facebook too? This has to be Facebook. Why am I feeling like I went through all of that? I think it was just that I went through some and I pulled it out because I knew it was valuable. And then I just kind of threw the rest in here. But this is inevitably why we're not sourcing, because we have plenty of inventory to go through. Let's go ahead and get started. This is kind of like what it looks like. I'll show you. It's a lot of history, policy, destination, travel, wartime, like techniques, and I don't know, like it's very, very obscure. Leadership. Lots of really interesting stuff. So basically my strategy for this is going to be just scanning some of it right off of the bat with Book Scouter, and seeing if there's an instant buyback value. And then some of it I'll look at and I can go, let me scan this on eBay, because this I can just kind of tell could be something for eBay. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll give you an update in just a minute. First box is empty, and all of this was scanned or looked up on eBay, and none of these are really of any value to me. So these will go out into our book sale. I have one book that I'll probably start a pile over here for Second and Charles for the sellback services. And then these 3 books were good to sell back immediately. I believe this one's like 11 cents. And I think this one is also like 10 or 11 cents, but this one was $1.76, I believe. So like $2 right there in those little 3 books. It's not a lot, but again, these were all free. And so when we add it up, hopefully it'll come out to a good little profit. We'll have some sellbacks and then see what we can get over here. Fingers crossed, some of these boxes have some bangers. Second box down. This is what was left over for book sale stuff. And I filled up this box, and now we've got these 2 working for book sale. I did add another book to the Second and Charles pile. And one of the ways that I know what to add over here is when I'm scanning on Book Scouter, if you use Book Scouter, you'll see at the top, there will always be an Amazon low price listed. I'll try to put in a screenshot here for you to see. You'll see at the top, it'll say Amazon low price. And when I see something that's really high on Amazon, like, $15 or more, but it doesn't have a buyback price, like they don't want it from the buybacks, I go, there's some value here, but I don't know exactly what it is. I'm going to stick that over there. But then this is for buybacks. I don't remember the exact amount. I'll tell you, of course, once I'm done here, but I think we're up to, probably $4 or $5 here. I would say at least $5-ish, $5 to $6. All right. Can't say that was super worth my time, but it is done. I knew that these were going to be low value books, and there's a part of me that I think I may reach out and let that person know that I probably won't come and pick up that next load. I don't know. I haven't decided. Sometimes I just feel guilty and I want to take books off of people's hands for them, but this is going to World of Books, and this is going to Books Run. These all together was about $15, give or take a few cents. This was like $6 and some change, and this was like, no, this was $9 and some change, and this was like $6 and some change. I don't know, something like that. So it's about $15. And then I have these 5 books to go to Second and Charles, so hopefully I'll get a little bit of money for those. And then this was kind of just everything. I just kind of started stacking in here. I decided that I can start closing off this doorway because I have another door that I can actually get into from the outside over there. So I'm not too worried about kind of having this like closed off now. But yeah, so kind of starting to stack there. And yeah, now I've got at least a little bit of floor space here, and I can kind of get started on what's left over here. I think I'm going to forego the Facebook stuff for right now because I really want to get into these banker boxes so I can work on listings. So I'm going to get back into these banker boxes next. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. I've got to head out to my little lunch date. I'm taking someone out for their birthday. Then I'm going to head home and go ahead and finish editing this video. So I've got to wrap up with you guys, but that is kind of where I'm going to leave the video off, in that we'll kind of pick back up on that from next video. I think that next week I'm definitely going to be doing little to no sourcing and really be focusing on working through that. So that's what probably next week's update will be. And I'll kind of try to show you some of the things I'm getting listed on eBay and get some of those eBay listings up for sure. I need to get that listed so I can start seeing those sales roll in, because I have my little board over here that monitors my sales, and I have some sales written down. Most days have sales, but there's a few that don't. And some of the sale days are low sales days. So we want to get those average sales price up higher. We want to get the sales in general up higher. And I'm just teetering between that $3,000 90-day total. For those of you guys that know, I used to have like an $800 90-day total because I never really listed. I still only have like 70 items listed on eBay, but I'm about to hit 3,000 in 90 days. So that makes me happy. That's kind of close to what I wanted to be. So once I hit that 3,000, I'll feel good, but I gotta get some listings up so I can do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and call it a day. That's kind of where we're at right now. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these little weekly updates in my business and kind of snapshots of what I'm doing and how I'm monetizing books, particularly. Still trying to stick to the books thing, but that's what's going on so far this week. I'll catch you guys next week with another reselling related video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.